The ocean is a mysterious place. Only 5% of the ocean has been discovered. There are so many things under the sea that we haven't found out about yet. There are many dangers of the ocean that people should take into precaution. In this video, we look at 5 videos of people who untimely met their death in the water. Viewer discretion is advised. Number 5. Trapped pilot drowns in a sinking plane. A British pilot, Commander J.D. Russell, comes into land on the HMS Victorious and tragically drowns after rolling off the flight deck in this footage from 1958. On September 25th of 1958, the Royal Navy aircraft carrier had just completed a 20 million pound refit and was embarking her aircraft at sea off Portsmouth. Something failed and the plane ran at low speed over the ship's side and it fell into the sea. The pilot was unable to escape the sinking aircraft and died. The rescue diver was on the scene in seconds. He got on the sinking aircraft to try to get the canopy open, but to no avail. It was said when the aircraft sank, the pilot was free apart from his leg restraints. However, he could not undo them in time, and the aircraft dragged him under. Number 4. Jacob's last piece. Jacob Cockle was a photographer, videographer, and artist who had a fascination with water photography. Jacob lived in the sea. The water was his natural element. He learned to swim as he learned to walk. He loved surfing and filming it, but Jacob also lived on the edge. Jacob grew just outside Penzance. At school, he would skip lessons with his friends to hitchhike to the beach, with surfboards beneath their arms. When Jacob was 17, his oldest sister, Grace, died from a brain tumor at just the age of 20. This moment had an impact on Jacob's life. Jacob was known to do many dangerous stunts, as he was a risk taker and lived on edge. He once received a police caution after leaping off from a railway bridge in Hale. Weeks before his death, he won a 28,000 expedition to Antarctica, the adventure of a lifetime. Tragedy would strike on May 28th of 2013 when the whirlpool returned. In this video, we see footage of a whirlpool. A whirlpool is a body of rotating water produced by opposing currents or a current running into an obstacle. However, whirlpools can be dangerous. If you're not careful, whirlpools can suck you underwater and drown you. And that's exactly what happened to Jacob. In this video, we see Jacob by a whirlpool. He was wearing a rubber horse's head, a prop he thought would make a more eye-catching thumbnail for YouTube. Jacob dived down, and David watched. However, Jacob did not reappear. David began to worry as he called his friend's name, but to no avail. By the time David saw Jacob, it was too late. Jacob was in the pool. The whirlpool tunnel had spat him out. He was floating in the water face down. Jacob died at the age of 28. His funeral was a major event. The church could not accommodate all of the people who wished to attend. Most people agree if Jacob had survived the whirlpool, it would not have changed his approach to life though. In Jacob's last moments of his life, he was doing what he loved, living life on edge. Number 3. Long-lost divers are discovered at the bottom of the Great Blue Hole. This video is a reminder that diving into caves is never a game or a sport to be taken lightly. Cave diving takes a lot of skill. Divers take extreme precautions to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen to them. The divers in this video were not able to recover the human remains of this body. It is still unknown to this day who this diver was. By the state of the body, it has been underwater for some time. This is especially terrifying because given no circumstances, we are presumed to guess that the diver's last moments were underwater and alone, trapped, which is a terrifying thought. Number 2. The Last Dive of David Shaw. David Shaw was a highly ranked deep diver specialist who tried to recover the remains of Dion Dreyer, who drowned at one of the world's deepest freshwater diving holes. Dion Dreyer drowned on December 17, 1994 at the age of 20 during a practice dive while helping a team. Although Dion's diving helmet was found, there was no sign of where his body was. 10 years later, Dave Shaw dove into the deep water of Bushman's Hole. It was his 333rd dive of his career. Dave recorded his dive with an underwater camera on his head.
It's getting past all the clutter that's there. There's our cameraman. Everything's going good. We're moving quickly. Final check. Everything's good. Moving down now.
And researchers found out that he suffered from respiratory issues due to the high pressure in water. Shaw found Dion's corpse. His corpse had turned into a soap-like substance called adipocere.
Right, getting ready for the body. Okay, Dave will be able to see Dion now. There's Dion's legs. Right, we're still on plan. Everything is going good. We're working hard. Undo the bag and put it over the legs. Everything's good. Checking everything's right. Making sure everything's right with his time. Time's getting short now. The time is nearly to the point where he needs to leave. Okay, good check. All the time checking, making sure he's okay. Working at the same time. Dave's breathing would be getting quite heavy as he's trying to work his way out. And slowly Dave would start to become incoherent, and then he would stop.
The cause of Shaw's death were due to the wires of his underwater lights getting tangled around him. The physical effort of him trying to free himself from the wires due to the extreme pressure underwater, he passed out and died. 3 days later though, both of the bodies floated up near the surface in a somewhat happy ending to this absurd tale. Number 1. Yuri Lipsky. Yuri Lipsky was an Israeli-Russian diving instructor who met an untimely death at 22 years old on the 28th of April of 2000. Again, another video showing the infamous blue hole in Egypt. While attempting to swim underneath it, Lipsky began an uncontrolled descent. He captured his own death with the camera on his helmet. Yuri lost control, and he began falling toward the ocean floor once the water pressure became too great for him. He was carrying too much camera equipment and only one standard oxygen tank. Yuri fell about 300 feet down into the water. This terrifying video is a reminder to be safe before diving, and also is a reminder how terrifying the ocean can be. Yuri died at 22 years old in a slow, horrifying death, falling to the bottom of an endless ocean.